What's up, guys? This is Federico, and welcome to FGM Weekly number 3. Um, I'd like to apologize first off for not having one last week, and well, it is definitely I can explain. Basically, I was having sound issues with my computer, and my editing program wouldn't allow me to to adequately edit stuff because the sound would just edit off. You'd just be like playing a preview, and all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, it's like suddenly the sound would just go away. But anyway, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna have two of them this week. So I am going to give you guys everything that occurred last week. Everything, like a couple of articles that I have to discuss here. I want to discuss, but before we get started, I want to end a debate in which a friend of mine, Victor, it's also known as Victaru over at YouTube. You should check him out. Just type in VICK T Vic Taru. So it's VICK TARU. He does StarCraft games. He just finished doing a Half-Life 1 Let's Play. And he too was having issues with frame rate issues with one of his episodes. He took care of it, and it just goes to show you that when we're doing these things, these things just sort of happen. He said, after watching my first episode, that this Malta Goya is better than Malta India. This is the first time I am trying Malta Goya. Malta Goya, I never even knew it existed till I moved here. But Malta India, I've been drinking that since I was a kid. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Victor, if you're right or wrong. So cheers. Oh, oh, it's a worthy opponent. It's very good. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Victor has put me in a very tough spot. Thank you, Victor. But my childhood favorite for now still wins. I might have to drink it a little more later, so um, we'll see. But give it a try. In fact, do this. If you don't see Malta India or store branded Malta, get this because this is actually a really good substitute. Um, Malta Goya, it's a worthy opponent, Victor. I will concede that you were right, partially that it's really good. As for it being better than Malta India, I gotta support the local boy. So sorry, these things are brewed here. They're not brewed in Puerto Rico. So sorry. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the first story. And the first story is an article that I saw on IGN stating that is Final Fantasy X HD a remake or a remaster? They're saying that just what will you be playing on the PS3 or Vita exactly? Now they've confirmed that they are doing an HD version of Final Fantasy X. One of those titles that have gotten Final Fantasy fans going, whether they like it or not. They're saying that it was a crappy game. I've known people that have beaten that game 4 or 5 times. It's one of their favorites. But I think that it will be an HD remaster because they haven't had the resources or the time to do the best Final Fantasy game in the series. 7, in my opinion, it's 7. But if it's been this much time discussing whether 7 should even be remade or not, I highly question that it'll be remade because it goes back into the same thing. It has to go revisit the thing, revisit the series, has to, do remake everything, and it's about a title that's not nearly as as it's got that presence that 7 had. So if 7 isn't getting that, I don't think that 10 is. But it's coming for the PS3. It may come to the Vita as well. I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind a remaster. Seriously, I don't. I want to play that game. I started it. But then my ex-wife, when she was playing it, mistakenly saved over my saved. And I forgave her like a long time ago. But, she's the one, she's the friend that has beaten that game. She cannot wait to get that title as a remake or a remaster. But I think it's going to be a remaster because if it's coming out soon, there's no way it can be a remake. So, sorry guys, it's not going to be a remake. So stop asking. So, producer from this is the second story. This is a producer from BioWare saying to keep your save files for Mass Effect 3 because it looks like there is going to be a fourth game. Obviously, I can't say anything, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Could this Mike Gamble is associate producer at BioWare, and he's saying that you should keep your Mass Effect 3 saves around. This is a good thing. Mass Effect 3 is within just like a few weeks of being released. The Mass Effect 3 demo is already up now. I have it both installed on my Xbox and on my PC. And I have yet to play them, so those impressions will be on either a separate video or on my next FGM, which will also be filmed this week. Mass Effect 3 is the last it's going to feature Shepard. That's about as much as we know. Now, whether he'll be dead or alive, I am assuming that if it wants us to keep those saves, it's because the next game is going to dictate the story if Shepard's going to be alive or not. I'm thinking if Shepard does lead the Earth to salvation or does whatever he does in the third game and lives to tell the tale, if we make it so that it happens, or if we didn't kill him in the second game and then in the third game he didn't show up, all that's going to matter, which means that now we have a fourth game with the consequences of 3 follow-up games that dictated by you as like the focus. I mean, they said that this thing is going to be a trilogy. It isn't out of the question, hasn't been confirmed, but the Mass Effect universe has become massive. It's grown through books, it's grown through comics, it's got mini games, it's got a bunch of characters, it has a bunch of alien races. I mean, I would keep it going because BioWare knows how to write good stories and knows how to present them. And Anne and I have constant discussions with people that are haters of Dragon Age 2. Was it a disappointment? Wasn't as good as the first one, but you know what? You can't call it a bad game. And is it really that bad that it isn't exactly the first one? I couldn't figure out how to keep myself focused on that first one because it's so different. But I've decided to give it another try, so maybe later you'll get impressions of me playing the first Dragon Age. I don't have Dragon Age 2, so later, maybe down the road, I'll get it, so we'll see. But super excited about Mass Effect 3 coming out soon. I can't wait to start playing that demo. I've already seen it in action over at Noah and Anne's house, and boy, is not being able to play it the night before bad because I was just so tired and I want to play that game, man. I do. Guess what? This next story is another reason why Sony has again yet disappointed us. But hey, Sony's an expert at doing that. And I don't blame them. Actually, yes, I do blame them. But I don't blame the fans for not being surprised by this. But the story is Vita's PSP UMD conversion program scrapped ahead of launch. It says owning a PSP on UMD will get you nowhere as far as Vita's concerned. it seems that there was some sort of UMD password program that exists, um, in which apparently um, lets you go backwards compatible with with your PSP Vita. As you all know, PSP Vita is not doesn't use the UMDs. Um, and Japan, apparently, I think what it did was it had some type of backwards compatibility program that allowed you to use the UMDs. It's very, very complicated, but basically, downloading your PSP UMD games on Vita will cost you. Not all of them will be available either. Apparently, there was some type of way in which it could be done, but in North America, nope. You're not going to be able to get it. Now, you thought to yourself, well, geez, isn't that something we've already seen already? The PSP Go? That piece of crap console that just, you know, left you without the ability of being able to play all those games? Well, now it's been actual. Now you, I mean, I'm not surprised actually. Um, but the fact that Japan has the option to do that, even if it's not all of them, and not have that option here, means that everyone who has either um, because not everybody bought the PSP Go. It was a flop. It was a failure. Nobody bought it. I didn't know a single person who had it. But what they did stick with was the PSP. PSP, either model, they had it. I have it. And now with the PSP Vita, now you have to get the other versions of that game if you want to play them on the Vita. But guess what? Smart gamers are going to be like, well, they're still selling the PSP. I still got mine. You're gonna see that PSP Go drop, the PSP 3000 model drop down even lower, because if Sony's still selling it, then why would they stop doing it? It's like the PlayStation 2. They still sell that thing. I mean, they took the backwards compatibility out. They're remaking every game. They're remastering them and releasing them. I mean, I've heard of the. I mean, the Jack and Daxter collection. Is on my list. I'm getting that soon because I never played those games. It was either that or get a PlayStation 2 and buy those games. See, Sony's thinking ahead of this whole thing. They want to find ways to make money. You get a PSP Vita, you will not be able to play those games unless, well, you buy them on the PlayStation Store. If you have them already, then good. You don't have to worry about that, but it's stupid. That's just Sony just trying to find another way to make money, and it's really some sort of sad. Sony again dropping the ball, but they're already having issues, but that's stuff that I'm going to discuss in the second taping. I'm going to just stick to what happened last week. Which another story I've got here has to do with Sony. The second Sony story, and this one's actually kind of strange. This one says major shakeup hits Twisted Metal developer. David Jaffe founding new company Eat Sleep Plays focus to change. And I find this very strange because the game isn't even out yet. With the exception, I mean, it's out now, but this story was written before Twisted Metal came out. But basically, it seems that that about 20% of his staff was laid off before Twisted Metal was released, and apparently the company intends to move from producing console titles to mobile games. Okay, and on top of all that, David Giraffe, dumbass. I don't know what his last name is, but he basically left as well because he wants to refocus on doing other type of games. But I find it so strange that a game that a franchise that has started from the beginnings of PlayStation's heyday on the PlayStation 1, you suddenly let everybody go. And I get why they're doing it. I mean, how hard is it to make a mobile game compared to a console game? Not really hard at all. Programming it in, testing it with the different devices that have already been made, adjust to every OS, and that's it. You ship it digitally. You don't even have to make packaging. You don't have to promote it so much. But it's kind of strange that you would let about 1/5 of your staff go right before they reap the benefits of Twisted Metal. And I don't know whether the game is good or not. I've never played the demo. Never been a huge Twisted Metal fan except when they did Black, and the who knows really. But focusing on doing mobile games, I guess it's a smart choice, but I still don't think that it was a nice choice. But anyway, good luck to all those people that are gone. I'm sure that you guys are going to be fine. Lots of game companies are looking for people, so hopefully that'll help you guys here. Um, and there's a, I mean, it's kind of just, why would you do that? I mean, why would you do that? It's just, don't let people go that, that have done good stuff for you here. But if you thought that, if you thought that from what I mentioned before about Blizzard canceling BlizzCon was bad, I mean, they're now getting hit with something else. Apparently, the next story is about Blizzard, and they are um, setting for a second launch quarter for Diablo 3. It's coming out in quarter 2, so that means you're going to get Diablo 3, and it's going to come out for the summer. And that's pretty cool, because, I mean, why not? I mean, this is probably one of the greatest summers of movie blockbusters. Why not promote it as a blockbuster title? Not just that, but they're prompting that there's going to be 2 games coming out this year. So, hell, maybe canceling BlizzCon was a good idea. Maybe they decided to refocus on just getting those 2 games done over in the summer. So definitely a good idea. They're hinting at that which they're currently developing Heart of the Swarm. That's Blizzard. That's StarCraft 2's other chapter. Blizzard Dota, and also the Mist of Pandaria, a next gen MMO that they're doing as well. But they're also exploring a possibility of whether they can get Diablo 3 on a console launch. And that doesn't sound like a bad idea either. It shouldn't be done because, I mean, why would you refocus on console one? Just stick to PCs, man. Stick to PCs. But again, I'm not a huge Blizzard fan. I don't really care too much about this. But Diablo 3 coming out for the summer, so I'm glad that we've gotten something definitive. And final story. This one's going to be this is merely just a list of a PSP games that will work on Vita at launch, and that more compatible games will be have been spotted. But I discovered this a couple of during later in the week. It appears that a list of about 275 PSP titles and minis will be compatible with the Vita at launch. The ones that you can find. Obviously, it's a pretty hefty lineup. I mean, it's pretty good. They've included Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Valkyria Chronicles 2, Luminous, and they've also got Pixel Junk Monsters Deluxe as another one that they've also included on the list. Now, trying to find a list here, but on the article in PlayStation blog, it shows you how to download PSP titles over to the Vita, and it shows you with instructions, the content manager, but the title is, I mean, it's quite long. I mean, I'm looking at the list. I'm seeing all the Metal Slug games, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift 2. I'm also seeing Darkstalkers, Chronicle of the Chaos Tower, the Prince of Persia games, Disgaea, Dissidia, Shin Megami Tensei, the Soul Calibur, Broken Destiny game, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max, Tekken 6, Guilty Gear, The Ascent Corp Plus, Adminid Hero. The list is quite hefty. I mean, the majority of these, it looks like they're including a bunch of these, a bunch of the PSP 1 titles as well. But the list is quite hefty. And they've also included a list of all the PlayStation Mini ones that are also included as well. So it's located on the PlayStation blog. It was posted on February 9th. And it says how to download PSP titles to the PS Vita. PS Vita, I think it gets released today, actually, as I'm filming. PSP Vita's getting released today. I think the games came out yesterday. And well, you know what? That's it. You know, this is what not another tame week. Games, notable games that came out last week. The Darkness 2. I already beaten The Darkness. I beat it yesterday. Excellent game. The Jack and Daxter collection came out last week as well. This week, a bunch of good titles are coming out as well. I think Blaze Blue Continuum Shift to Extend also came out last week. I'm not sure whether it was last week or this week it was released. But anyway, that's it. And I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. You guys will be getting another episode this week consisting of this week's articles in which I saw and loved and get my opinions. So I'd like to thank everybody that's watching. I'd like to thank everybody that's also been watching the other videos I've been doing. The Soul Calibur videos. I saw that there's like a 50%, but I'm glad that a lot of people have watched, and I think maybe that one could have been better, but I promise you guys will get you more content videos on my gameplay. So thank you for watching, and hope you guys, if you get the Vita, enjoy the Vita, and get yourself some Malta Goya too, you know? Drink it with buddies. I mean, experiment. Take care, guys. But I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's not wasn't strong. Losing cast members. Story not making any sense anymore. Not caring much about the patients. The patient thing is more for filler, I guess now. So I'm not surprised. They should end it with a bang. They should end it. They should end it gracefully. Bow out gracefully. Go out and just end it with a shocking ending. I don't have cable and I haven't been following House, so hopefully I'll get Hulu and I'll see everything, every shenanigan the House has been doing. So, but I wish everybody from that show good, especially Hugh Laurie, because he's become one of my favorite TV personalities. So, just goes to show you can't keep things running forever.